Forgive my dirty board. It doesn't seem to want to be erasing properly. We're going to be dividing fractions right now. So for dividing fractions, it's very similar. Well, it's not very similar. You will have to end up multiplying. So let's say we have 3/5 and we want to divide it by 2/4. How the heck would you do that? You can't divide 3 by 2 unless you get a decimal. So simple. All you have to do is recopy the fraction, turn this into a multiplication. This becomes a multiplication. Then, I will use a different color marker again. We need to switch the numerator and the denominator. So, the numerator becomes a 4, the denominator becomes a 2. Okay? Pause the video if you need to see what I did there. This remains the same. The division becomes a multiplication, and then we switch the places of the top number with the bottom number goes on top. Does that make sense? Then all you have to do is do multiplication, which was super simple. We made a video about that, and it's so easy. So we multiply the numerator by the denominator, the numerator by the other numerator. That becomes a 12. 5 times 2 is 10. That is our answer. However, we could do multiple things to this number to get a better final answer. We could reduce it, and we could turn it into a mixed number. We could reduce it by dividing both by 2. Right? They're both even numbers. We could divide them both by 2. So it would become 6/5. 6/5 is an improper fraction. So we could turn this into a mixed number. What we do is, how many times does 5 go into 6? Only one time. We make a big 1. And then 5 goes into 6 one time, and there's how many left over? To get to 6, there's 1 left over. And then you just copy down the denominator. So that's what the final answer would be. 1 1/5. So this division would become 1 1/5. That's the answer. Let me show you another example of how to divide fractions, just to show you how easy it is. It's not scary at all. Multiplying and dividing fractions, in my opinion, are easier than adding and subtracting, because you don't need to get a common denominator and figure out factors and multiples and everything. So now the board is a bit wet. Okay, let's do 3/10 divided by 2/9. I'm just pulling these numbers out of my head. So you tell me the first thing I need to do, even though I can't hear you. First, what I like to do is copy down the fraction that I don't need to do anything with. Then we have to do what? Turn this into a multiplication. Then we have to do what? Switch these two values. So 9 goes here and 2 goes here. The orange is what you need to change. Now, simple multiplication. 3 times 9 is 27/20. Another improper fraction. Let's turn it into a mixed number. How many times does 20 go into 27? One time. how many are left over? To get from 20 to 27, we have 7 left over. And then we copy down the denominator, and we cannot reduce that number. So this is the final answer. And that's how you divide fractions.